On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Dragons beat the Knights, whilst off the field, the Dogs confirmed the signing of Galvin. Magic Weekend arrives on the New South Wales South Coast, where a former Super League star is carving up, and Warrington favourites set to play game number 350 as we prepare to call Robins and Saints. But first up, in the NRL, the Dragons have beaten the Knights 20 points to 6 at Kogarah. That was after the Dragons led 18-0 at half-time, Newcastle taking the field without Kalen Ponga. And in the New South Wales Cup game at the same venue, the Dragons snuck home against the Knights 28 points to 24. Off the field, it's official. The Bulldogs have announced the signing of Galvin on a 3.5-year deal, which is effective immediately. Galvin's Tigers contract terminated just hours beforehand. Club bosses leaving it until late Friday afternoon to make that public knowledge. Not only that, the statement they put out less than 60 words. Prior to all this, Galvin was supposedly on the books at Concord until the end of next year. In other news, immortal and current Kangaroos coach Mal Meninga is set to be formally announced as the first ever Perth Bears head coach. We can expect Big Mal to front the cameras next month when State of Origin returns to WA. It's understood that Meninga will need to stand down as Aussie coach once the Bears job becomes official. The likes of Brad Fittler and Kevin Walters already mentioned as potential replacements. Well, first it was the UK, then the NRL, and now we have it happening in Country Rugby League. Magic Round, Group 7 style, expected to pull in a fair crowd this weekend at Bomaderry on the New South Wales South Coast. 4 games on Saturday's program, as mentioned this week on Bushbeat on rugbyleague.com. The fourth and final match starts at 5:15. It's top of the table Stingrays up against defending premiers Gerringong. The Rays lineup to include former Super League star Tim Laffey, who's been one of the standouts this season in Group 7. And in central Queensland, Tenham Sands have dropped a bombshell, forfeiting all grades on the road against Norths this weekend. Tenham President Wayne Worry has told the Morning Bulletin it was a pretty radical decision. It'll cost the Seagulls a $3,000 fine. Injuries and work commitments have been blamed for the no-show. It's the second time it's happened this season for A grade. In the Northern Hemisphere, Catalan Dragons winger and 5-time Super League Grand Final winner Tommy Makinson has thrown his support behind teammate Luke Keary, who copped that £3,000 fine from the RFL for those comments about Super League. Our UK-based colleague John Davidson breaking that story via rugbyleaguehub.com long reads. Looking ahead, we're getting ready to call the match between Hull KR and St Helens, live and free on rugbyleague.com. Kick-off is 8 o'clock local time, and for Sydney siders and those people up and down the eastern seaboard, that's 5 a.m. on Saturday. In the other Friday night games, Stephen Ratchford plays game number 350 as Warrington hosts Cass, the home side in a form slump, and with Matty Ashton recovering from surgery in London after doing both his ACL and MCL. And in Greater Manchester, we've got Super League's basement boys Salford with what looks to be mission impossible at home against Wigan. In the opening game to round 13, Lee Leopards collected another 2 points, but only just. Adrian Lamb's team winning 28-24 at Huddersfield after leading 12-6 at half-time. And on the back of that result, the Leopards currently in third place on the table. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's latest in news on rugbyleague.com.